friends. How is everybody? Hi, my name is Jill Matthews, and I am going to be your story time girl tonight. I'm going to answer all the questions you ever wanted to know about Mary Kay, but maybe didn't have somebody to ask. So, tonight is really all about an education. This isn't about us twisting your arm or anything like that. This is really about me answering some of the probably most frequently asked questions I ever get on about our Mary Kay business. And so, I just want you to sit back. I've got my great cup of coffee and mascara, two of my favorite things. And I am going to take a sip and just sit back. And I am just going to walk you through some of the information about Mary Kay. So, first of all, before we jump in and get started, I would love to know who's watching tonight. So, if you're watching, give me a quick comment below and let me know you're watching. It's great for me to know who's watching, so that makes me feel a little bit better. And then, of course, it helps your beauty consultant. So she actually gets points for you to be on tonight. So if you have an opportunity, please just comment. Tell us who brought you, who invited you tonight, and then literally, what do you want to know? If there's a question you're dying to know, I would love to answer it. So thanks so much for just hanging out with us. And we're just going to cover some questions. So I have been with Mary Kay for almost 35 years. And I know that sounds like a long, long time. But I want you to know I started when I was super young and I had never even sold a solitary thing. And I mean, when I say never sold a solitary thing, I mean, I never even sold a Girl Scout cookie. So I didn't have a big history in sales. I certainly didn't have any experience in sales. And when I joined, I wore lip gloss and mascara on a big date night. So everything you see before you right now, that is absolutely a learned skill. So I learned, and I can honestly say I'm cuter today than I was when I joined at a very, very young 22 years old. So I promise it's fun to learn and fun to learn this particular business. Okay, well, I'm going to jump in, and if you've got questions, gosh, that certainly makes it more fun for me. So jump on and tell me your questions you've always wanted to know and never had anybody to ask. So I'm first of all going to answer the question that I get asked all the time, like, what attracted you to Mary Kay? Well, I can promise you, I was not probably the person that you would have pulled out of a crowd. I wore my hair straight back in a ponytail. I would rather wear cutoffs and a t-shirt and maybe watch football than ever get dressed up and go shopping. So I wasn't necessarily a girly girl. It's not that I couldn't go there. It just probably wasn't my natural state. It wasn't my natural habitat. And I'm a little bit, I'm not shy necessarily, but I'm not necessarily an extrovert either. I meet people easily, but I am not one that needs people to be around all the time. So I probably wasn't like this perfect little person that somebody would have immediately targeted for Mary Kay. But I did know a lot about Mary Kay because my mom did Mary Kay. So I knew enough, which what I call enough to be dangerous, because I didn't ever really want to do anything she did. I was very independent, still am today, and I wanted to carve my own way in the world. I don't know if you've ever felt that way, but I didn't want to do anything anybody else had done. I want to create my own jam, so to speak. And so I don't know that I gravitated to Mary Kay so much as Mary Kay gravitated to me. So let me explain. I had gotten a couple of degrees at the Oklahoma State University right down the road in Oklahoma. Go Pokes. And so I had a lot of education. But at that season in my life, there was not a lot of job opportunities. It was kind of a downed economy. Not a lot of job opportunities for people with lots of experience and lots of education. I had a lot of education and no experience, and I really struggled to find a job. And so I was literally leasing apartments trying to find my corporate job when I got discovered and I became a corporate tax accountant. Now, before you go crazy, tax accountant is not anything it's cracked up to be. So it's not exactly a dream job for anybody. I don't care what they say. It's not a dream job for anybody. So that wasn't what I thought I wanted to do forever, but it definitely what I thought was going to at least pay the bills. But I don't know about you, but I made some poor choices right as I came out of college and I was learning to adult on my own. And I found myself a little upside down. I don't know if y'all know what that means, but my daddy used to call it when your outgo exceeds your income, your upkeep will be your downfall. And so that's exactly where I was. And so I was looking for a side hustle. And one of my friends mentioned Mary Kay. And I went, ooh, it gagged. No, I would never do that. It's too pink, too fluffy. Not anything that I'm really, that's not my jam. I don't even wear makeup really. And she said, well, I thought you were more open-minded than that. And I'll never forget it as long as I live. That hit me hard. And I went, I am open-minded. Why am I shutting the door to that? So I began to get a little education. So what attracted me to Mary Kay? It wasn't the pink cars. It wasn't the big hair. It wasn't makeup necessarily. In fact, not at all. It was probably the culture. Probably the culture is what attracted me to Mary Kay in the very, very beginning, because I saw in real life women helping and encouraging women. And I had not seen that before. I didn't see that in corporate America. I didn't always see that even in my church family. I didn't see that in other places. And I saw it live out loud in Mary Kay. And I'll tell you, that was very attractive to me. I also saw an environment where iron sharpens iron. And what I mean by that is nobody was letting anybody wimp. I mean, in other words, if you're like, oh, I'm tired. We all need those friends that say, girl, snap out of it. Come on, let's go do something. And so we all need those people in our lives because they push us to be the very best version of us. And I saw lots of people like that in Mary Kay. I also saw lots of people that were kind of against all odds, people with maybe lots of education, no education, came from the good neighborhoods, came from bad neighborhoods, had great childhoods, had horrible childhoods. I saw it all, and I saw it live and in person. So it wasn't just like stories I read. I met these women, and they were kind of against all odds people. And I love an underdog story. I love all that. So it just kind of captivated me. So I loved knowing that. I think probably the thing that was super important to me is I love knowing that if I worked today, I got paid today. I like instant gratification. I hope you do too. But I loved knowing what I did. I got instantly rewarded for it. But I also loved knowing what I was doing was making a difference. So the culture, I'll talk more about that later. But a lot of people ask me, was the car a motivator for me? So I don't know if you know, but Mary Kay is a huge car program. And we have a car program just for beauty consultants. And then we have 2 or 3 different car levels for sales directors, so our leadership team. So our very first career car is a Chevy Malibu, and that is a very tricked out reverse cameras, all the bells and whistles. So that Chevy Malibu was the it wasn't the car that I earned. I owned a Pontiac Grand Am. That was the car of choice at that point. But that free car was very attractive to me because one of the poor decisions I made when I came out of college was that I bought a very beautiful sports car. I bought a very beautiful sports car. And I thought I was all that in a bag of chips until I started paying that insurance and that car payment every month. And the tickets I got from driving too fast in that car every month. And so my car, I became what's called car poor, which means I was poor because I had a really nice car. And that wasn't as fun. So when they said free car, they had my complete and total attention. And I was like, how do I win one of those? And so that was a huge, huge motivator for me. I can honestly say I never envisioned myself driving a pink Cadillac. That wasn't anything I gravitated to. I wasn't a girl that went, yahoo, pink Cadillacs. I was like, all right, if that's for you, but that's not me. But I didn't know what I didn't know at that exact moment. And I can honestly say the free car has been a huge, huge blessing for me and my family. I've driven free for almost 35 years. And I drove from the first 4 months, I won a free car. And then after that, I've driven a free car ever since. So if you take all the car payments and the car insurance payments and all of that, that's a pretty big benefit. That is a really, really big benefit. And I've never driven a car that's more than 2 years old. So that just kind of gives you some perspective. that is a huge, huge advantage. And yes, I drive a pink Cadillac. People ask me that all the time. Do you drive a pink Cadillac? I'm like, no, I drive a big pink Cadillac. I drive a pink Cadillac Escalade. It's the largest, biggest pink car on the road today, and I'm super, super proud of it. It was the car that allowed me to raise a family and have car seats for everybody. I've raised 4 beautiful children, and because I had so many little kids, I needed a bigger vehicle, and Mary Kay heard my cry, heard my request, and actually created another car level in our marketing plan for people like me. So I love to say that Mary Kay met me again at the point of my need. So another question I get asked all the time is, did you always want to lead? Did you always want to be in leadership? It's a great question. I'm a really good follower, but I'm probably a better leader. But I don't know that I knew that then. I did know that I wanted flexibility. I knew I wanted freedom. I knew I wanted to be the boss, although I'm not anybody's boss today. But I knew I wanted that. I wanted to be in control of my advancement. I knew I was a hard worker, and I knew that I could do big things, but I needed maybe that blueprint of what that looked like, and I needed somebody to leave me alone long enough to do it. Corporate America was not really healthy for me because they had me in a box, and I don't know about you, but I didn't fit in the box very well. Let me just say, I didn't fit in the box at all. And that just wasn't a comfortable place for me. I'd never adjusted. I didn't understand why they told me when I could go to lunch and when I couldn't go to lunch and when I had to do this and when I had to do that. Why didn't they just give me the job and tell me to not quit till it was done? I'm much better at that kind of leadership than I am somebody giving me all the rules. Maybe I'm not too much of a rule girl. So that probably is one of my challenges. I did know that I wanted to be an at-home, work-at-home mom. When that day came for me to raise children, I knew I wanted to be very involved. My mom was very involved, myself and my 3 older brothers, and I couldn't imagine a life where I was not on the front lines with raising my kids. So that was another huge. Well, I'm just going to ask you a question. Do you feel like you're a natural born leader? I don't think I was when I came in. I think I developed that. But if you feel like you're a natural born leader, if there's things about you that go, girl, I can run it, do it, figure it out. If you can do all that, I would love to hear you say that, because that would be interesting for me to know. Also, if you're like, girl, I don't want to be in leadership. I just want to take instructions and do the job. That was probably where I was when I joined. Not so much now, but definitely when I joined. A lot of people ask me, even today, I know why I joined Mary Kay, because I had confidence in it because my mom was very successful in Mary Kay. So I automatically gravitated to that because I already had confidence in Mary Kay. But a lot of people say, well, today there's a different direct sale opportunity every time you turn around. What makes Mary Kay so special? I'm glad you asked. The number one reason that I think Mary Kay is special is because of our founder. Our Mary Kay Ash herself created a culture, created a marketing opportunity that has never been matched. Number one, the fact that we make 50% on everything we sell forever and ever and ever. You don't have to buy in at a certain level. There's not different levels of discounts, which keeps us from being a multi-level marketing opportunity. We are not multi-level marketing. I love Mary Kay for not picking that business model simply because I believe ours is superior to that. I love knowing that I don't have any better profit from my product sales than the brand newest beauty consultant. I love knowing that that's fair and equitable. That's super important to me. In addition to that, I think Mary Kay really celebrates women. And they celebrate women on a large scale, not only through just our recognition inside our marketing plan, but it also celebrates women all over. And let me explain. We have a Mary Kay Charitable Foundation, and I can tell you guys, when you work for a company that truly does what they say they're going to do, they don't just talk about it, they are about it. And they give money back in so many different areas. 2 major legs of our charitable foundation. One is about cancers that affect women. I love that Mary Kay does not just pick breast cancer or just pick one thing. They literally treat not just women, but families that have been affected by a woman having cancer, and we give literally millions of dollars every single year for research and development, for treatment, for homes, for all sorts of opportunities to support women with cancer. And I love that part of the foundation. The second part of the foundation is something that's super near and dear to my heart, and that is the leg that supports women and families that have been affected by domestic violence. The reason that is so important to me is because in a previous marriage, I was one of those victims. I didn't see myself as a victim at the time. I just felt like I was going to work it out. I was going to figure it out. I was going to work it out. I was going to figure it out until things got worse. And so I can honestly say that I have come through that. I came through that through the help of my Mary Kay family. I came through that through the help of the Mary Kay Foundation. In fact, I was the very first poster child for a promotion called Break the Silence. And that was when you looked good, smelled good, and lived in a nice house, you can still be a victim of domestic violence. And so that's super important to me. And this has given me an area to heal by giving back. And I love that. I love knowing that Mary Kay doesn't just talk about it. We are about it. I love the fact that Mary Kay is a green company. I love that Mary Kay is a green company. We had recycle codes on our product packaging before recycling plants even knew what to do with personal care products. We not only just recycle all of our products, but we also have a zero landfill. That's unheard of for a manufacturer at our level. We operate with renewable energy in all of our $10 million manufacturing facility. We donated the technology for corn packing peanuts so we can no longer use styrofoam. We donated that to the whole manufacturing world. We really are not just talking about, we wish we could make a difference. We are making a difference. That is huge for me. That is really, really, really huge. And, I think when you can work with a company that has shared values, I think one of the things that I've always known, but I didn't know was going to be so important to me, was the fact that Mary Kay says God first, family second, and career third. When we put everything in order, everything stays in order. When everything gets out of order, it's chaos. It's just chaos. And so I will tell you from personal experience, that has never been more important than the season we've just come through, is to keep everything in perspective. So I love that it's a company that doesn't just, it's not just a cute tagline they put on some pencils. They really do believe what they believe and do what they say. I think a question I get all the time is, when did you decide to do Mary Kay full time? And do people really do Mary Kay full time? Well, I'm going to say absolutely. I became full-time pretty quickly, and I'm going to share a quick, as brief of a story as possible. When I joined, I did not see myself moving into leadership. I didn't see a free car. I didn't see me having the privilege of leading literally hundreds of thousands of women, not hundreds, and in addition to thousands of women. I didn't see that. I didn't see that as my trajectory. I don't think you don't know what you don't know. But I did know that I don't even know how to explain it. Is I knew that I wanted something more. And I was pretty sure that corporate job wasn't it. I saw the women ahead of me. I saw some women in leadership. They weren't so happy. And I heard just stories of nannies and, just people not even being involved in their own lives. And I thought, no, I'm not doing that. I've got to find another way. And so did I think Mary Kay was going to be it? I don't know that I thought that in the very beginning, but I did work quickly for Mary Kay to be full-time because I wanted the flexibility, whether it was to go back to school, whether it was to get another education, whether it was to start another career, something else. I needed the flexibility. So Mary Kay had to kick in pretty quick. I quit my full-time job. I was single, no other source of income whatsoever, my own bills, my own income. I did that within 9 months of joining Mary Kay, working very, very part-time. So I just want to give everybody encouragement. There's a lot of people who've done it a lot faster than me. I'm certainly not a record breaker in the company, but that's a great personal story. But when did I know that this would be my life's work? That's a different story. So I had joined Mary Kay. Remember, I was just going to do as a side hustle, pay off my loans, not really looking at it being full-time, didn't know what I was going to do, but this wasn't it. And so I had booked a few of the parties like they had instructed me to do right in the very beginning. So I'd gone to a party that I'd booked with a girl in my company. She worked in an area that I spent a lot of time in, and she had a large family. She had lots of sisters, and she offered to do a party for me. And I said, absolutely, bring all your sisters. And so I followed all the steps that Mary Kay put in front of me to pre-profile the class. And so there's only 5 sisters that could come. One of the sisters, she just wasn't responding to me. I don't think she wanted to come. And so I was like, oh man, I was a little stressed out about it. And, but I thought, oh, well, she probably won't even show. And so I walked into this party, and I can tell you my personality at the time, because I was financially strapped, because I had more month than money, I was looking for the financial return on this business. And so I kind of walked in going, okay, this is going to be great. There's all these sisters. They're all going to buy. And if I sell this much, this is how much money I will have. I really walked in with that attitude. Not the best attitude, but that's the attitude I walked into. So I kind of have a numbers brain, and I was definitely counting how this was all going to turn out. So I walked in the party, got everybody set up, and everybody, they spoke Spanish. And so I know just enough Spanish to be dangerous. And so I knew there was a little drama. I knew it was about the sister that wasn't coming, but I didn't quite understand all the nuances of the conversation. But I knew it was Sylvia that was the problem. So let me fast forward. We were in the middle of the party, knock on the door, and I went, oh, I bet you that's her. And I thought it was just going to disrupt our party. I was kind of being a little selfish at that exact moment. Opened the door, and I met Sylvia. And so I'm going to tell you why Sylvia changed my life. Sylvia showed up, and she had what's called a port wine birthmark on half of her face. And if you don't know what that is, that's a very, very deep, dark wine colored birthmark. And it was absolutely on one half of her face, all the way down her neck. And it was almost like an optical illusion when you were looking at her. And I recognized immediately what the problem was. And I was brand new to the business. I didn't maybe have the skill or the technology or the wherewithal, bandwidth, whatever you want to call it, to handle this particular situation. But she walked in, and I noticed something about her. She wasn't happy to be there. Her personal hygiene was not super. She didn't feel good about herself, and I certainly understand why. And she sat down literally under duress. She was not thrilled to be there. And so I worked really hard to make her feel better, but I didn't know what I didn't know. And so I brought her up to speed with the skincare. She wasn't really having much of it. She didn't want the mirror next to her. She was just a little bit of a pill. She wasn't really playing nice with us, but I noticed something happened when she got there. All the sisters' body language, which were all about themselves and looking in their own mirror prior to her entering the room, all focused on her. And I sat back and watched how beautiful this was. They were all going, Sylvia, try this, and Sylvia, try that. And oh, you're going to love this. And I watched as they basically facilitated most of the party. Now, I broke every Mary Kay rule, I can tell you that. And I actually did the makeover on her. And every sister crowded around. And it was just beautiful. And so when it was all said and done, she looked really great. And I was able to conceal a lot and soften some of the things that were maybe really, really obvious. And so when she wouldn't even look in the mirror. And so her sisters were like, look in the mirror, you look beautiful. She wasn't having any of it. Okay, so let me fast forward. So I told her to pick the mirror and pull it at arm's length and look at herself, because this is how people see you. They don't see you like this. They see you like this. And so she finally took the mirror and she pulled it out away from her face, and she began to cry. And I remember rolling my eyes going, gosh, my first fatal makeover. Oh my gosh. And I told her, I'm so sorry. I started apologizing profusely. I'll take it all off. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I was apologizing to everybody in the room. And I'll never forget, Sylvia stuck her hand up and she said, stop. And she was very authoritative when she said it. And I went, whoop. And I was quiet. And she she sobbed for a little while. And then she said, I've looked in a mirror for 27 years and I've never thought I was beautiful till today. And I can get choked up saying that even today, but I know at that exact moment, that nanosecond, I changed. Forget everybody at the party. I changed. And I realized that I was called to help other women feel beautiful. And I was going to do it through the vehicle of Mary Kay. See, I can still get emotional, even 35 years later. But that's when it all changed. It changed in my heart. It changed in my head. I didn't look at people as a dollar sign anymore. I wasn't looking for my profit level. I wasn't looking for all of that. That all became a byproduct of me helping women feel more beautiful. I don't know if that's really the question that they were asking me, but seriously, that's when I decided that I wasn't in Mary Kay, but that Mary Kay was in me. Okay, so I've covered a lot of things, and I'm going to wrap it up here really quick. But if you've ever wondered, what is my significance? If you've ever said, I want to help women, I want to make a difference, I want to do something that's outside the box. Guys, I know it may just sound like skincare and lipstick, but it's bigger than that. It's because when you help a woman feel good about herself, when you help her face change, you help her become more confident. Guys, we could all make the world a better place if women were more confident. It creates less insecurities, less cattiness, all the things that we don't like about women. Confidence stamps all of it out. And we can do that when we have an opportunity at their face. We do have an opportunity at their heart. Okay, so another question a lot of people ask is, I'm going to cover two more questions and then I'm going to be done. A lot of people ask me, what's your work-life balance? And so I'm going to tell you, you can see up here in this picture, where is it? It's back. It's over here. It's behind my back. And it's backwards in this camera. But if you want to know where my work-life balance is, it's spectacular. It's just spectacular. Let me tell you a little bit about it. I've raised 4 kids. These are the 2 that are left at home. But I have raised 4 beautiful children. I've been single. I've been married. I've been divorced. I've been a single mom. And now I'm married again and have a very beautiful family. And so I stayed at home for, I was the stay-at-home, work-at-home breadwinner for my family of 6. My ex-husband at the time did travel. He traveled from Sunday night to Thursday afternoon about 5. He played golf Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I was a single mom for sure. And so I spent a lot of time investing in my children, but Mary Kay allowed me to work Mary Kay in amongst. And just to give you an idea, I had a daughter that was a dancer. She danced all the way through college. So I know a lot about 5 a.m. dance lessons. I know everything there is to know about dance, and it is a full-time job. I had a son that was a hockey player. You don't know about that, but that is also 5 a.m. in the morning to get ice time. And that is usually 5 or 6 days a week, and every Sunday hockey game. Then I had a band kid as well as a musician. That means Friday nights under the lights, all sorts of fun things with that. And then I have a competition swimmer, my 16-year-old, the tall, skinny drink of water in that picture. He is a competition swimmer. And so he practices literally 6 days a week, 350 days a year. Yeah. And he doesn't drive yet. So anyway, that is... I raised all of those kids doing all of those things really as a work at home, kind of a single mom. My husband was definitely around at times, but he traveled. And so I was really responsible for all that. So my work-life balance, I did a lot more life than I did work in seasons of my business. And then there was other seasons of my business where I did more work than I did life. It was a balance. And that's the whole point. This season of my life, I can honestly say I'm head over heels in love with my husband, and he has just had the privilege, because of my Mary Kay income, to retire after 37 years with a very high stress job. And so he is my partner in crime. We do Mary Kay together, and he loves this business. He loves driving that pink Cadillac Escalade. He loves to deliver products. He loves to meet my beauty consultants. And if you don't think your husband would be supportive, I'm going to tell you one thing you can do. You put enough money in the bank, he's supportive. He is absolutely supportive, because Mary Kay allowed him to walk away from his 37-year job. And so what a blessing Mary Kay has been. So I want to say my work-life balance is great. I get to sleep late when I want to. I get to work when I want to. And since Our world has shifted on its axis in the last year. One of the things that I know is I'm able to even do more in less time because I can work virtually. So if you're sitting there saying, you know what, I could probably talk in front of a camera, or I could share with my friends, or I could do some of those things, guys, 95% of all of our business today is done behind a webcam. So I can assure you, whether you feel confident to do that or whether you don't feel confident to do that, we have a whole like college campus of different programs that you can invite guests to, just like you're a guest tonight. We've got all the buffet of options out there. All you have to do is to start working the plan, and virtual gives you an opportunity to work behind your webcam, behind on your kitchen table. And it's a way for you to earn while you raise a family, while you do life. And so work-life balance, never been better. Never been better. And then the last thing that a lot of people ask me, let me see if I wrote all my questions down. Oh, somebody asked me just recently, what's your favorite Mary Kay prize? Many of you know that Mary Kay is all about incentive-driven marketing. So we incentivize you to watch this program. You probably got an incentive to do that. We're going to draw for some prizes at the end of this program. We're going to offer you prizes and gifts and free products if you host parties for us. So we believe in incentives. We do believe in incentives. But we also incentivize our beauty consultants. If they reach certain goal levels, if they reach certain levels on the career path, there's all sorts of incentives. And so really from the moment you sign your beauty consultants agreement, there's wonderful, wonderful carrots, lots of carrots, not so many sticks, lots of carrots for you to start chasing and looking at and finding new and exciting ways to reward yourself for a job well done, but also reward your family. We have a new program that's launching that is going to allow you to get travel points so you can book a vacation for your family through just your efforts in building a business with Mary Kay. Lots of fun things. But the favorite prizes that I have earned in Mary Kay is travel. I can say before I joined Mary Kay, I had been to Colorado because I was born there. I had been to Texas because I lived there. I was in Oklahoma because I went to college there. That about covers it. I was no world traveler by any stretch of the imagination, but I knew that I wanted to see the world. And so Mary Kay had a saying that I have always clung to, and it says you have to see the world before you can change the world. And I remember the very first time that I heard about a European trip, I was like, oh my gosh, what do I have to do to win that? And so the free travel has been something that has been absolutely huge. And I can't even list all the places that I've been, but I'll list a few. So my very first trip was to Scotland, Ireland, the UK. I've been to London several times. I have been to, oh my gosh, I've been to Vienna, Austria. I've been to Budapest, Hungary. I've been there several times. I have been to Beijing, China. I've walked the Great Wall of China. I've had dinner at the Great Wall of China. I have been to Australia. I've been down under, friends. I have been all over Sweden, Denmark, Estonia, all over that area of the USSR. I have been literally, oh my gosh, so many different places. Let me think. St. Petersburg, Russia. I told you about that. Let me think of some other places. I've been to Hawaii multiple times. I've been to Greece. I've been to Rome. I've been to Athens. I have been to Milan, Italy, the fashion capital of the world. I have been, where else have I been? Lots of fun places. I have been to the French Riviera. Oh my gosh, I've been to Monaco and saw the races in Monaco. I have seen yachts that were bigger than my house. It's just spectacular. All of these vacations are first class, paid for Mary Kay, for me and my husband. I can honestly say, if you want your husband to support you, take him around the world. Take him around the world, because I promise there's nothing like saying, this is the trip that Mary Kay gave us. I say I get a new honeymoon every single year just to tell my husband thank you for his support. Guys, I can honestly say I actually got engaged in Rome, Italy. He flew over and I got engaged at a fountain in Rome, Italy. Who gets to say that? I get to say that because of the privilege and the exposure of Mary Kay. So I'm going to ask you, what are you working for? If you're working for today, that's great. I mean, we all have to work for our bills. I have to work for my bills too. But here's what I want to say. Are you spending time or are you investing time? Because when you invest time in yourself, in building a business that pays you over and over and over, you will never work another day in your life. Guys, fall in love. Fall in love what could be for you. I don't know if it's going to be the goose that laid the golden egg for you. I don't know if you're going to drive a pink Escalade and be walking on the French Riviera with Mary Kay. I don't know. But I do know you're never going to know unless you try. So I hope and pray that you're commenting, you're asking questions, and you're thinking about a business opportunity like this. Because for $130, you can change your life. Is it going to just give you some great free products and a great discount? Maybe, but it could change your life. You're never going to know unless you try. Thank you, friends, for being on tonight. Thank your beauty consultant for thinking enough of you to invite you tonight. And I just want to say, you're never going to know unless you try. I can't wait to welcome you. We are looking for people just like you. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.